Scruff bag. Can't take me anywhere. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Well, if you're watching on replay, nobody's on at the moment, so I'm talking to myself, which is a very normal daily conversation. At least I'm not talking to entities that are within me, or am I? I just keep taking my medication and I'm sure I'll be fine. No, don't take your medication. That's when the entities get inside. So I made a video. Good morning. A few people have jumped on now. Morning. I made a video yesterday with regards to how to recognize the difference between entity and your own fears and worries and stuff, and had quite a few messages through the night and this morning, maybe about 30 or 40 messages. So it's very difficult for me to go through all them messages and explain. It's not a simple ABC. It's, you know, if you just listen to Jerry Mazinski and others like him, you'll understand that it's very complex. And you know, one of the major concerns of people, especially those who have no real understanding of working in this field of work, normally they're the most outspoken, the ones who might have, you know, experienced a little something, and then that's their understanding, or they might have claimed to be a healer, and when you actually look at their past work and their credentials, they've done very little healing work and have very little experience. So it's very difficult talking to people like that and having a conversation when they're mind struck, mind hell bent into what they think is the real truth. And there is no truth. The more you've been doing this work, you know, my clientele stretch tens of thousands of clients. So, you know, even I don't have the answer to everything. I don't know. In fact, the more I learned through those 20 years, the more I realized you don't really know anything. You're just scratching the surface of what's going on. So one of the major concerns was you can't clear entity and demonic energy with sage. And that was an adamant thing. And to a degree, yes, you're absolutely right. It's not always going to work because of many factors. But you have to understand that if you are a healer trying to share information, then the information that I shared on the video, and it was perfectly clear, it said that the most important part of that message. Just on a side note, if I was to give a talk about this, it would be probably 7 days, and would probably start at 9 in the morning, have a dinner around about 1 o'clock to 2, and then back again, and we'd finish at around 5 o'clock. And that would be 7 days. That's just to break into the understanding of what I'm talking about. You cannot judge me by a 30-minute conversation. And if you do, you're a plonker. You're an absolute dick. So what I share is bits of information of what can help. The video wasn't on how to get rid of it. It was how to kind of just give you some little understandings, or just wake you up a little bit to what the difference of an attachment is via your own insanity. We're all a bit insane. We're all a bit crazy, right? Especially when we're targeted 24/7 with lies, manipulations. We're not targeted by a world that runs love and compassion and healing. We're run by a world of fear, lies and manipulation. So yeah, you're gonna get affected by that. You're gonna get affected when, you know, the only alternative to, you know, just this subject alone, like, you know, I think I've got an attachment. Okay, we're gonna have to send you to, if you look at even religion, if you look at All Roads Lead to Rome, you listen to any of the exorcists, in brackets, I don't believe half of them, to be fair anyway, even if they have studied at the Vatican. Sorry, but energy is energy. If you know energy and you have a strong energy inside you, you can clear entity, right? That I know, but that's another conversation. But even that, what's the first thing that they do? The first thing that they do is get you to have to go to the mainstream medical poisoners and get psychiatric evaluations. And then what's that going to do? They're going to then stick you on more drugs. Guess what? Ask Jerry Mazinski. He worked in these psychiatric wards, the biggest in America. Most of them people who were certified crazy weren't crazy at all. They were on medication and they were listening to voices. Those voices were attachments, were entities, and some of them, and listen, Jerry talks about a hierarchy. All I know is there are different energies that come through as attachments, as demonic energies. There's many, just like there's many of us inside these spacesuits. Not everybody's the same inside these spacesuits. We're all different because we all come from different parts of this universe, just like there's negative energies, there's dark energies, there's, we say energies, spirits, the dark spirits, heavy spirits, and some really bad spirits, some really, we call demonic spirits because they're so dark. Some of them are very light, some of them are cheeky, some of them are just, they're all different. We live with certain attachments, just like we live with attachments which are physical attachments we live with. They're called parasites. We live with those attachments. They're in our body every day. And that's why a lot of us can't sleep on a full moon, because these parasites that are a different entity, they're different entities. They feed from us. They live off us. So these things we have to... Yeah, anyway, so by the by, long story short, yes, you're right. You can't always clear very, very heavy energies like demonic energies with sage. No, you can't always. But the majority of time, what I witnessed through my clients and through their personal experience of going through this attachment, which is very rare back in the days, was quite rare, but for me it wasn't, because I was dealing with that, because people heard about my work and came to me because of that reason. Just like you'll get priests in the Vatican whose purpose is to clear attachment and demonic energies. Of course they're going to be busy, because around the world they travel for one person, so they might do 20 or 30 or 50 in their lifetime, or 100 or 200. Somebody asked me how many I did. It depends how you see it. I just called it negative energy. You'll not heard me talk about this in my previous videos, say 10 years ago, because I called it negative energy. I didn't want to provoke this idea of, well, they're everywhere, because I didn't want to spread fear. But now I speak about it because the world has changed. People are all sorry to say, this is going to upset people, but one of the major factors, as Jerry Mazinski has said, is that if you are on drugs, if you've taken something, if you've injected something, there is a higher chance, more likely chance, that you're going to have attachments. It's like you open the floodgates to entity, because your frequency, your energy is no longer a perfect balanced aura. So they can see that, and they come into your aura and they manipulate you. Well, guess what's just happened in this world in this past 4 years? Guess what's happened to people? Guess what happened to your energy in these? If you listen to my videos, I said that as soon as people started taking the quackery, the juice, I could see people's energy was erratic. It was the weirdest thing. And I was panicking, because this is what happens. This is the start of the possibility of you getting attachments very easily. So they tried to do this with poisoning the water. This is a very drip feed, destroying your energy, your frequency, your. Somebody mentioned, just on a side note, somebody mentioned something that if, all of these things are because of deep-rooted issues, which attachments can attach to you. And that's a great, absolutely. If you are unbalanced because of your suffering of deep-rooted issues, you are easier to manipulate. Your energy is it's almost like broken, or it's very, very raw, so it's easy to be manipulated. So yeah, if you can clear your deep-rooted issues, you're going to have a stronger energy for sure. You're going to have more joy in your life. You're going to have more balance. So there's a less chance of you having attachment. That's an obvious to me. But there are people in this world that don't go into sorry, there's people out here now coming. Okay. Anyway, listen, we can talk about this all day, but I just want to show you something that I just finished working on, and they're here. They're absolutely beautiful. You can't see them on the website. They don't even look anything like they do, because I couldn't take the photos of them properly. But these are, it's a beautiful calcite. Absolutely beautiful. They call this mangano. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't even think you can see it. Beautiful. These are the highest quality I've ever had. Absolutely phenomenal. They're not cheap because you have to pay for quality, but I do have mangano calcite on my website, which are a lower grade but still beautiful. So you can easily get one, I think round 80, something like that, up to 120. These are around 200, 220. Expensive, I know, but quality is quality, and that's it. If you want to pay for it, there's only 15 pieces. I think we might have sold a few last night. I don't know, I haven't looked. But if you've got one, you'll absolutely love these. And the reason why I say that now is because these bring a great, powerful comfort into your life. And that comfort obviously creates your energy to be stronger. Anything, any crystal that creates a good aura is a protective crystal. Somebody also asked me this morning, I've just answered, there are a couple of people out there who are promoting the fact that crystals give off radiation. And I think to sum that up, it's really simple. I've been working with hundreds of thousands of crystals through my 20 years of working with crystals. Every day I work with tons of crystals, and I'm still here. So I'd be more concerned, to answer that question, I'd be more concerned about the radiation given off this phone, or the 5G towers, or the smart meters. So yeah, I don't let fear control my life at all. And there are crystals out there, that I can't remember what the one's called. I worked with for quite a while. It's a yellow crystal from China. And I absolutely loved working with that. And that one has high content of arsenic. And I mean, you're not chewing it. You're chewing it and swallowing it. You're not putting it in your water and then drinking the water. It's just a crystal. And yes, you handle it and you wash your hands, but it's not going to cause you death. And for me, radiation of crystals, it just doesn't add up to me I don't know, it just doesn't, nothing kind of bothers me or puts fear into my thoughts when somebody says that a crystal radiates radiation frequency. I'm sorry guys, but people like to put out content and people like to scare the shit out of you. And like I said, you know, I guess the guy who's saying this, I bet he handles his phone all day long and is around computers all day long, which I think is far more worrying than a crystal that apparently radiates radiation. I just don't know. I can't comment in the factual evidence, but like I said, I don't know where they're digging them from. Chernobyl, I don't know. You'll know better than me, but if that's the case, listen to him, and if it feels right, then don't buy crystals that apparently radiate at that frequency, which I have no idea, but you know, there you go. What are we talking about? Yes, crystals are from Mother Earth, given to us. I mean, the only thing I'm thinking is what he's talking about is that maybe there's radiation because of a bomb that man made, but natural radiation, I just don't know. I mean, if Mother Earth gives us anything, I don't see as an issue. I'd be more concerned about what shit that guy is talking about. Sorry, what he's eating. I wonder what he eats. I wonder if he goes to his local, corporation supermarket and eats all the crap that's all poisoned in your body, you know. I listen to people who talk on social media now, and I just shake my head. I actually say that I've got whiplash because I shake my head that much these days. Everybody who's talking on social media, who gets big influencers, they all they do is talk. That's it. They don't practice what they preach. They absolutely do all the opposite of what they say they do. So I don't listen. That's why I said a few months ago I was putting messages out there saying, be careful who you're listening to now, because you're entering into a world, a cesspit of lies and manipulations. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm wishing you all a lovely day. I want to have a look at Lily. Lily, come and say hello. Sorry, I'm disturbing you, lass. Do you want to say hello to everybody? Come and say hello. Look here. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Hello, Daddy. Hello, everybody. She beautiful, eh? Like a good girl. Okay, babes, sorry about that. Oh, you want to sit here? Okay, you sit there. So there you go. That's my 2 penneth. Nothing much else to say, really. Looking forward to going back to the academy right now. I'm going to take Lily for a walk on the beach with Chris Rea. On the beach. Hey, baby. She's going to have a nice walk, and then we're going to go back to the academy, because every day is a work day for me. I don't have days off. The only time I have days off is when I save up my money to go to ballet, and when I'm in ballet, then I work on a book. We've just held back on, just on a side note again, we've held back on the book, The Ancient Art of Flower Reading. Everything's just about done apart from the images. We're just, yeah, and I don't know, guys, when you employ people to help you with a book, I don't know. I'm not a tight ass, but I just think sometimes people just take the piss. You know, oh, now I have to do this, and we have to charge you for that, and we have to charge you for this, and like before you know it, your book is gonna. I tell you what, the only person who makes money on books these days are people who help you write the book, or people who help you edit the book, or people who help you design the cover of a book. They're the only people who make money when you write a book. I tell you, you make no money really from making a book. Self-publishing, it's expensive, guys. I mean, you're looking at 10,000 You know, when you actually, I saw this lady and it said that she worked for Hay House, and it's just, you're just laying out thousands of dollars. It's incredible, really. It's incredible. And to get 50 images, like that's going to cost like nearly 2,000 just to get 50 images and to have them licensed and approved. 50 flower images. That's crazy what they want to charge you, especially when you get into that level of professionalism, you know. So I just got put off the other day, and I just said, just stop. Let's just stop. I mean, this is becoming ridiculous. The prices these people are wanting, it's incredible. I get it if they work hard, but you know, a couple of hours work and they want $1,000, or $2,000. You know, they don't work at. You come and work at my academy. See how hard I work through the whole of the week. It's just like, don't you know what work is anymore? And people, they just want big money for doing a little bit of work these days. It's almost like I am professional, and what you get from me, you have to pay. And it's like, how much do you actually charge an hour? And when you add it up, it's like $200 an hour, $300 an hour. It's like, and do you know, if you want to create a website, like if I want to change my website, you know, you can be looking at tens of thousands of I mean, a real website. 50,000 is nothing for a website these days. So like I said, the people who make the money are the ones who create these things, not the person who needs a website or needs a book. I mean, we're lucky to sell, what, 1,000 copies if we're lucky, if we're being honest. So it's kind of a, you know, and this idea of mine of having a lovely book so you can feel it. I mean, not, my books are all right, but they're not brilliant. They're just books with pages. I just had this great idea of, remember, I used to clear out properties. I used to be an auctioneer, and I used to go into houses and clear out properties. Do you know what? They say that we're an advanced species. Absolute bullshit. History shows that if you look at books which are 1920s, 1910, 18s, you look at those books and tell me that printing now is far superior. What a load of bollocks. I used to handle books which back then, 20 years ago, I used to put in the auction, and they used to sell for about €1,000 for one book. And when you opened, and funnily enough, it was flower books. The front cover was absolutely gorgeous. They were green and gold, and they embossed. And then you opened it up, and then there was this beautiful. It was like tissue paper for the first page, and then you turned the page over, and then the tissue paper would be in between all of them, and then you see these drawings, these absolute beautiful flowers which were etched, or whatever it was. They were, some of them, like I had, which were worth thousands, were actually literally hand painted in the book, right? And they were in the book, and the description about the flower. And this was like 500 pages. They were big books. And I'd sold books like that for 3, 4, 5, 6,000 for that book. And look at the books now. Give me a break. Give me a break. Look at the buildings now. Give me a break. Look at the buildings in the 15th, 16th, 17th. Look at the buildings which were in the Mayan times, and tell me that we are an advanced species. Give me a break. We know we are so ego driven that we are superior. We're going down. We're going less. We don't care about the work we do. And to be fair, if we do care and we do want to make an extra effort to create a lovely book, which back in the days were phenomenal, get ready, pal, because you're going to have to spend a lot of money, because people don't want to work They don't want to put that effort and energy into it because they're lazy bums. Lazy bums. They don't care. Oh, that's too much like hard work. Oh, that'll cost too much money. So we're the creators of we're the destroyers of our world, and that's why everything is absolute shite. It's all IKEA, chuck, throw away garbage. Nothing is real, nothing is authentic. Nobody puts time and energy into anything. I guess that's why my crystals sell, because I put time and energy into it. And people look at me and think, you're a bit crazy, aren't you? Like, no, this is what I do. This is the love that I put into each crystal. And people just don't, they're like, mouths are open. They can't comprehend it. And I'm looking at them, well, why can't you comprehend it? You know, when you see a true artist who is painting a painting, you know, the great artists of this world, the great sculptors of this world who take weeks and months to create something, that's lost, it's gone. It's throwaway, it's disposable. Our younger generation look at that as if they're mugs, they're idiots. Like, no, they're not idiots. You're the idiot. What, you want to make quick bucks? You want to be a millionaire tomorrow? Oh, so you want to do a podcast? You want to wear, you know, fancy clothes and handbags? You're the idiot. You are actually the idiots. So we've lost the absolute genuine purity and genius and that what you would look up to as, wow, this person studied so hard and gone into detail in what they're doing. They are artists in their own right. This is what we should be looking up to, not young girls and boys who are on TV, who are walking around with Chanel, Prada, Armani and talking bollocks because they don't know the difference between, they can't, well, forget it. Our idols now are not idols. They're throwaway. That's what they are. They're throwaway idols. And they don't. And actually, if you're somebody who thinks you're an idol, you're not. You're a throwaway disposable, and you're gonna get so sick and sad and miserable because you today might be an idol, but tomorrow it'll be somebody else, and you'll be left crying, and nobody loves me anymore, and now I'm depressed. Yeah. There you go. The only idol you should have is yourself. And that isn't ego. That's talking about having pride in who you are and what you do. Looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, what am I? Who am I? You know, you come to this world to create, to make the world a better place, to learn, to understand life and to study certain things that bring you joy. But nobody wants that. They want to bypass that. They want to stick an AI chip into the brain and have all the information right there and then. And that's where we're going, because that is what humanity wants. And like Jordan Maxwell said, humanity gets exactly what it wants, and it deserves exactly what it gets. And I think that's the frustration for many people who are observers and seers of the world. We can see it becoming just a throwaway society, just a really sad world. I'm so proud of my daughter. She gets up every morning at 6 o'clock. She goes and she trains other female, or only girls only. She trains women only to defend themselves. She is trained from the age of, I don't know how old she was, 14, 15, that doesn't matter, but she started training. Then she went to Thailand and learned with the masters, and then she came back here and she trains every day. She puts every day into, you know, Monday, every day. She doesn't have a day off. She goes into gyms and she trains people. She trains, and my son trained to be also another martial artist. And he trained and he ended up becoming a black belt, and my daughter's a champion fighter, and they train people. My son trains young lads to defend themselves from bullies, and you know, you look at them both, they've got a purpose. They've got a purpose. You look at most other kids now, what have they done? What are they doing? They're just walking around in a limbo world, there's no purpose anymore, because the system has now been created that it doesn't want you to have purpose. AI is the purpose. No more is the designer. No more is the book writer. AI does that for you. So we dispose of everybody's gifts. I'm an artist. Don't worry. We just go to ChatGPT and it will produce a painting for you within a few seconds. Just type it in. So we are now disposing of the very nature of why we came here, to be creative. Creative being taken over by AI. This is demonic. This is a destruction. It's a destroyer of this world and why we came here. AI is the very evil if we don't control it, and there is no control now. It makes me laugh when Elon Musk says we need to slow it down. The very creator is telling us to slow it down. The very creator. It's like somebody who built an atom bomb saying we shouldn't have done it. I mean, give me a break. But there you go. Such is life. So we'll get back into positivity. I'm thinking about doing another weekend. I'm really thinking about it very hard. Another weekend. We did one not so long ago, a few years ago, before the poisons came into effect, the poison agenda came into effect. And it was called Illuminate. Why did I call it Illuminate? Because illuminate was a beautiful word once, stolen by the very nature of criminals, gangsters, and clubs and cults. Illuminate is a beautiful word. We illuminate the world. So I called it Illuminate, and was it 20? I can't remember. 2021. So it was perfect. So all the healers, all the pure energy practitioners who've studied with me and beside me, and have and are practicing healers, came along to Spain here. It's no longer open, it's closed down, and it was called the Grand Hotel in Benavis. And I envisioned at that point, I didn't have a lot of money, and I had a lot of help from people. Reg Lenny was one of the speakers. Reg is a health guru, so he's the guy who goes into your house and throws all your poison away out of your fridge, and then restocks it with real food and helps you and helps clear cancers from your body and stuff. So Reg was a speaker. Reg at that time was so kind enough to buy a load of fruits and vegetables. Fruits. So we had all the fruits. He contributed to all the fruits. Then Bettina was there when me and Bettina was really good friends. She was there to give a talk. Some of the pure energy healers gave a talk. Leila Sati gave a talk. And then I invited all the pure energy healers, and we had, I don't know, was it 30, something like that, came from all over the world. So I managed to get 30 beds, put them all upstairs. So through the 2 days, we openly invited anybody who wasn't feeling well, anybody who wanted to experience healing. And I in my head, I wanted it to be completely free. No strings attached. Nobody's trying to sell anything. Please, none of that. It's just giving freely. So it was a great event. It was a great success. We had thousands coming through the door. People sat down and listened to the talks. There were talks all day long, and upstairs were healings. So you'd come through the door. Many people were very dubious because the world is a scam, and they were like, well, what's the catch? And the girls at the door were saying, there is no catch. Come in. And when you left, you got a free crystal. I'd blessed thousands of crystals. I worked on thousands of crystals with bags and a card, and everybody got a crystal on the way out as a gift. So they'd come in, they'd say, okay, well, I'd like a healing session. Okay, just put your name down there. You're booked in at this time. And so there were free healings. which was lovely. Like I said, there was about, I don't know, about 30 beds, something like that, 30 healers upstairs all day long working. And we also had two, I think, tarot readers. Scott Cornish was the tarot reader. He was brilliant at reading. And yeah, it was just great. But downstairs also, there was a few of us who were doing cleansings with sage. So we'd sit them down and we'd just basically blast them with sage and just give them a little bit of healing, 5-minute healing. And that was really lovely. So I was doing that, and a few others were doing that downstairs. We had like rice healing, so pure energy healing with rice, pure energy healing with sage, and so it was really beautiful, and people loved it. People loved it. And then on the microphone, on the mic, there'd be different speakers through the day. I'd be talking, like I said, Reg Lenny would give a great talk. Leila Sati gave a wonderful talk about her experience. It's okay. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Her experience of going through heartbreak and how she pulled herself back. Reg Lenny talked about his book because he just brought a book out. A few healers gave a talk as well. What was this beautiful Polish lady who was a singing angel. Cecilia was going round with a singing bowl as we were. Oh yeah, and every so many. This was beautiful. Like, this was really beautiful, right? Every like 3 or 4 times through the day, all the healers would stop, come downstairs. We'd do a meditation, and there'd be like, I think there might have been 100 seats, something like that. Everybody would sit down, and the healers would come downstairs and they'd go around and give healing to people who were sat down as we were doing the meditation. I gotta say, it was probably one of the most beautiful things we've ever seen, and it was really nice for the healers upstairs to experience a demonic entity attachment. So like I say, it's very rare, but when one lady came, we realized that she got really heavy demonic energy attachment. So she was brought straight upstairs, and 3 healers worked on her, and one of the healers got bit in her hand quite badly, but they managed to, I was like, I knew that we were able to do it, and they cleared it. It was gone, and they were so proud of themselves having some war wounds. And I said, it's just normal, it's okay, you just clear it and it's gone. And yeah, there was some heavy duty stuff, but healers were all supporting each other. It was absolutely beautiful, and I think I'd like to create that again. I'd like to do it one more time here in Spain. And unfortunately, the Grand Hotel closed down, and I haven't found a place to be able to, because it's a lot of money that you have to find. I had to find money for the place cost $2,000, and then I had to get the stage equipment, which was a stage, hiring of the stage. They had to put it up and take it down. Then I had to get all the sound equipment. Then I had the sound stage manager with all the microphones. I had to so there was a lot that was involved. It cost us like probably $10,000, and then all the healers paid for their own flights to come over. This is how beautiful pure energy healers are. They paid for their own flights to come over. They paid to stay at the Grand Hotel. We got a discount, which wasn't that much. They had to buy their own food, but because of Reg Lenny and what we did, we got food together. We tried to help, but people wanted to come. They wanted to pay for they wanted to be involved in it. And then I said at that time, I think we should take this around the world. I think we could take this around the world. And then we were trying to figure out who could sponsor us to do that. Imagine going around the world and doing this. But yeah, I couldn't afford to pay for everybody's flights and stuff like that. But, I think we did approach one ethical company And nobody's interested. Nobody cares about healing. No company cares about healing, paying for random people to be healed. That doesn't do anything for their company. And you can understand it doesn't. So I did it out of love. I created that, and and every single healer that came, everybody who participated, the girls on the front door, all the women who took time off to come and do it. That it was a big process. It wasn't just something that you just created. It took time, and it takes effort, and it costs a lot of money. So, but I'm thinking maybe we can do that again. So let's see. There you go. Let's see if we can create it again. So I'm wishing you all a lovely day, whatever you're doing. It is an issue really when you make videos, how people just judge you by, part of content, that you can't say everything, and then they're straight down your neck, belittling, judging, mocking. It's like, just shut up. Just shut up. If you've got nothing nice to say, bog off and go somewhere else, But you can understand why truth and sharing experience can be attacked, because of that reason. People want instant information. They want it in 3 seconds. That's why shorts are so popular. That's why everybody's addicted to shorts. Nobody wants, well, I'm not saying you, but humanity doesn't what it's going to last. The first thing they do is they click on a video to see how long it lasts. That just shows you how imprisoned people are in their mind. That just shows you, if you want a measuring stick to know that your mind is imprisoning you and holding you back, is just next time you click on a video and it says 30 minutes or 2 hours and you skip it. And if it says 2 seconds, but I've only got 2 minutes. I've only got 2 minutes to listen to something. I can't listen to. There you go, you're imprisoned. And it's exactly the same as what I say when I teach people how your mind is imprisoning you. You're being brainwashed to believe that time is important. It's not important. It isn't measured, shouldn't be measured. What should be measured is content of truth and what is important. And you can't get truth out of 2-minute video. You can't get truth out of 30 seconds video. You're just getting a slice of something that you have no idea what you're talking about, and you're walking around giving information to people that you have no clue about the information that you're talking about. What? Because you watched it on a 30-second short. Now that you think you know everything, you know nothing. You need to know the beginning of a conversation to the end. You need to know the story. You need to know everything about how this is to understand anything. So everybody's walking around and talking about stuff that they have no clue what they're talking about, but they sound like they know what they're talking about. So this is the world. It's a fake reality. It's a fake world. It's fake conversation. It's no meaning. And that's why I say there's so many people who speak and say nothing. If you are somebody who can feel energy, if you're not, then you'll be impressed by somebody giving you a snippet of information. And it's almost like a drug now. Shorts are like a drug. They're dangerous. They're dangerous. You just feed from this. You become an automaton robot just listening to these things. And then I sit down with you at the end of the day after you've watched 5,000 shorts or whatever, I'm exaggerating, and ask you about anything. You won't even have a clue, because it'll end up being zero information. It'll end up being irrelevant, and it'll be like stealing money from somebody. It's like sand, just drains out of your hand. It doesn't belong to you. It has no energy because you have put no energy into it. You're just stealing you're just stealing information, which means nothing, and it'll just pour out of your hand like sand. But if you spend time to listen to the greats and people who explain things in detail about situations and experiences and things, that then it'll hit you like a ton of bricks, and and it somehow becomes part of who you are, and it will give you strength, it will give you the ability to understand things more. It gives you a sense of purpose of what your life is, and you can put it into your life and integrate it. You can't do that with a short. When you watch a short, what have you done? You've just wasted your energy watching them. They're a waste of energy. They should actually be thrown out of the window, but you get the shorts you deserve, and you deserve the shorts you get. You get the world you deserve, and so on. Everything that humanity is doing is getting what it deserves, because you want this. Not you, I'm talking about humanity wants this. They want instant. They want to know now what it is. Give me the answer now. Like, hang on a minute, don't you want to know why? No, just give me the answer. Like, that's cheap. That's disgusting. You're just cheating. You're just hustling. You're just a cheater. You're cheating exams. Give me the answers. Well, don't you want to study and know what they are? No, I don't. Just give me the answers. Well, what are you? Who are you? What are you? You're fake. You're nothing. Do you see what I mean? It's like a guy who walks into a bar, says, I can beat everybody up, smash all your faces in. You're nobody, you're nothing. You're a fake. The real true fighters in this world start as children, and they fight in a boxing ring, and they learn how to box, and they become so bloody good and so professional that they go into a pub and they want to calm people down from fighting each other. And they know full well that they could knock everybody out in that place, but that's not what it's about. So we've got a fake world, and we're listening to fake people who are shouting that they're the toughest and the hardest and I'm the best. No, you're not, mate, because the toughest and the best don't need to say it. You're only saying it because you know you're not. Only when you know who you are is when you don't need to say these things and scream and shout. So, I hope you're all okay. Wishing you a lovely day. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now. Ciao.